Hey guys, just want to go through here just the ATC70 that I'm building. Been building it now for kind of nearly 4 years, just over 3 years actually. I bought it back in 2016 and bought it for, came up for sale just from a guy that's local to me. I think at the time I paid about $600 for it, 650 thereabouts. But it was in pretty shit condition. The fella who owned it, he used to use it for, he had pit cars, so what he used to do was, you can see just on the front here, he just welded some tabs on there, and he used to use it for his pit car, to move his pit car and stuff around, because he used to go race by himself. Anyway, he was selling it, so I ended up picking it up. Just to go over some of the bits, it's completely different now, apart from the paint, which he painted it blue. So no, it's not a Christmas special blue that I think they did in America. It's not that. He's repainted it blue. I think it was the same colour as his pit car. Anyway, lots changed on it since I bought it off him. The motor itself, it's a 110, CT 110. In Australia they use them in the postie bikes, Australian postie bikes. I believe it's somewhere in a 1986, 1985, somewhere around that era. CT 110, it's a JD01 engine code. So I think though, looking from what I've seen, there's a difference with the CDI modules and the CDI units here. I think that's off so it might be off a different bike there. Anyway, so really the only thing that's sort of stayed on it since buying it off him is the engine, because it's quite a good engine. He rebuilt it internally and stuff. I'm just about to rebuild it, so that's why I'm making this video. So 3 years time, it's gone through a lot of changes and things like that, so we'll go through them anyway. The tank itself, it does need a bit of work, that tank. Either way, the bike itself is a 1978 ATC70. Well, the frame itself is. So CT 110 1986 motor. All the electronics, it's running 6 volt because it is a 6 volt 110 engine. So all the electrics themselves are 6 volt. They came off a CT90. Now when I started this, I wanted to keep it all original. I didn't really intend for it to go this far down the track, because when I bought it, I didn't buy it for myself, I bought it for my goddaughter, because I've got a ATC 250R 2-stroke. And she quite liked that bike, so anyway I thought it would be a good idea to buy a little one for her, and she can train on that and ride on that. Anyway, she was too young, so the bike sat around, and eventually curiosity got the better, and just research and come across what they like to do to them in Japan, and they can register them on the road. So that's kind of what started it. So anyway, I wanted to keep everything around that same era, 78. So the donut bike, CT90 for the electrics and the handlebars and things like that. And this was a second month, so February 1978. Bike itself was built in January 1978. So I like to keep it all around that same era. The reason why I chose the CT90 was because I like these handlebars, how the indicators, plus they're circular, real good build quality back then. These need rechroming, which they'll get rechromed, but anyway, that's the reason for that, because it's all incorporated into one. All the electrics up on the handlebars and everything, it's all hidden in there. Speedo, things like that. It's from the original bike. 6 volt, that's an original Stanley. It's got the blown glass bulb in there. Really hard to find. I've blown one of them once, and finding a replacement, not to mention the cost, is ridiculous. So yeah, These tabs here that were originally welded on by the previous owner, they're going to get cut off. Salvage those off the donor bike. I'm going to weld them on there and make that semi-original. The bike itself, this here, which is now the front wheel locking bolt, that's originally from the handlebars. So on the CT90 you could adjust the handlebars. So I decided to use that there as a front wheel stud, because putting these on, they're a 10 inch rim by 8 inch wide Douglas rim. Had to stretch these out a little bit to fit it, meaning the original front axle bolt was too short. This, believe it or not, was a perfect fit, and I like the fact that it was just unlock that, easy to change the front tyre or pull it off or whatever you need to do, and just got a split pin on that side. Once that's unlocked, you can actually undo that by hand, so quite like that. The engine itself, I've gone through anyone that's got a Honda of this era knows about how annoying it is with the Phillips head bolts that they used originally to assemble the engine. You really got to hammer them out with their age and things like that. This is quite annoying. So anyway, initially removing a lot of those was drilling and extracting them out. Sometimes drilling the head off and then drilling a pilot hole in to extract the old studs, which is a pain in the ass. So they got all changed to I think they're a grade 12 cap head socket screw. A lot easier to deal with, a lot less painful when you have to change them or remove them and things like that. So you'll notice a lot of the bolts, pretty much every bolt is changed to that. Partly started to polish these back, which I'm going to pull this apart. This is nearing the engine's nearly finished now. The wiring loom, don't pay too much attention because there's just a mock-up. I'm going to go through and redo the loom itself. So got the kit, go with these go with the proper Deutsch connectors, waterproof. So bought them to redo the loom, so that'll be getting done. On the rear as well, not much has changed up the back. Original off the CT90 Trail 90 rear light number plate, 2 rear indicators. Now they're just sitting up there. I will make a custom what's it called, rear stay, number plate stay. Probably make that out of carbon fibre and then just bolt that up to the rear there, because I didn't want to drill anything on the frame here so much at all. I want to keep this as original as possible, and by saying that is not drill any holes, not cut, not weld, not do anything apart from obviously fixing this up here, which I could have got a set of ATC, I think it's a 90 or ATC 110 front forks, which have the same number plate things on it. These come with it, so they're going to stay with it. The only other thing that I do need to do, unfortunately, is just with this front tyre here. As you can see, there's not enough room in there. So I will, and many guys do it as well, especially the older ones, cut the frame, stretch it 2 inches forward, just to give that bit of room there between the top head and the front tyre. So here's one of the plates that's been properly finished off, chromed up. I'll go over that one more, but anyway, the rest of the engine will cop that treatment there. What else have we got? Engine internally standard. Carb is a Cayenne CR26. That made a very big difference on that, putting that on there. All the electrics, all the indicators and everything work. The intent is to get it registered to ride it on the road. Tyres themselves are DOT approved, so you can ride or use these on a vehicle that is used on public roads, well, especially here within Australia, because we are quite stringent with all our road regulations and modifications and things like that. That tank there, I do want to use that, even though that is a little bit earlier than the bike itself. I do have the original tank here, which was I did buy this one second hand, paid a lot of money for it, but yeah, that one there, and good inside as well. So yeah, that's an alternative too. Seat, things like that. I've got the original, well, it's not original, the original plastics didn't come with it, but guards, so you can kind of see as well just how far out putting the 8-inch rims on it, or 8-inch wide rims on it, really pushed it out. Now the thing is also, I've changed that rear axle too, because the original 70 axle is too narrow. The reason why I've changed that too is to give it a wider track, just to create more stability as well when riding on the road. So doing all the trigonometry and that for centre of gravity, to calculate the centre of gravity, it's actually equal from width as it is in length, although that will change because this is going to come 2 inch more forward. Either way, putting a grown adult on it to ride, you couldn't, it's too risky just having the original 70 rear axle. So this rear axle here, plus another benefit of putting this, it's 110, but I believe the ATC 110 and ATC 250R share the same rear axle. It's the same width, same diameter, same splines on them and everything like that. One incorporated a drum brake on the 110, and then the 250R was a disc brake hydraulic with a caliper. So the big push in doing that was numerous reasons: to widen the track for more stability and safety, and to also incorporate a rear disc brake. Let's put on that. The exhaust itself, it's titanium. Got that second hand, as you can see, OEM Honda factory racing cork, freshly calibrated. Really hard to find those. Yeah, so that's pretty much most of it. It's pretty much nearing done. It's been hasn't been worked on full time, just very temporary, part time whenever I get the chance and things like that. A lot of money's been spent on it, so yeah, we'll go to a video anyway and start it up and run it up and let you guys hear it. And yeah, but pretty much gonna drop the oil in it soon. Drop the oil, take the covers off, properly finish them off, polish them up and all the rest of it, and then once I've dropped the oil, then can work on stripping the engine down and doing a rebuild on it. Not that it needs it. It is leaking a little bit of oil internally. Plus, with changing all the bolts out and everything like that, you obviously loosen the engine, because I've changed these head studs here as well. They've been changed, so they've got a longer stud in them as well, grade 12. They just go straight through down into the casing. So that last one there, I can't actually get out. So when I say that, it comes out but gets stuck. So it's going to be something in here. But anyway, it needs to be pulled apart, put a full fresh gasket kit, hole, everything except for piston ring and internal crank bearings and gearbox bearings. So it's basically just a seal kit, top to bottom. And then finish the electrics off, cut the frame, stretch that, and sort out as well on the front here probably here. I don't know if I need to adjust this hub or anything like that. Sorting out for speedo and also disc brake. So yeah, that's it. That's the sprocket off the 110 as well. I haven't changed that, so that is quite big. And I do need to get this rear shaft balanced as well, because it's a slight bend in this side, which is no biggie because it's only bent just on this bit here. It's not bent anywhere near this bearing carrier or anything like that, which is good. Actually, these indicators here, I can't think of what they're actually off. They might be off something. They're off something else. They're actually not off the CT90, because the other ones off the CT90 are here, which I was going to just drill and weld into the frame there like that. But then I found these, which I like a lot more. They look a lot better, and I don't need to weld the frame. So that's it. We'll go through. Let's try and start it up now.